Alright guys, we're back with example 6, and again we're keeping our compass rose as a helpful tool to help us answer this question here. So question 6 says, a whale spotted 3 miles west of an island. A whale was spotted 3 miles west of an island, illustrated using a diagram. And part 2 says determine the bearing of the island from the whale. Now very often students mix up east and west for some reason. So all the more reason to be looking at the compass rule so you don't make that error. So west is that direction. So it says a whale was spotted 3 miles west of an island, illustrated using a diagram. So let's get straight into this question now. So let's go solution. Now, if the whale is spotted 3 miles west of an island, for us to indicate that using a diagram, we're simply going to put the island here. A north line should be drawn to the point that represents the island. So we do a north line that is vertical to the ground or perpendicular to the ground and indicate north. And of course, west would be in this direction. So I'm just going to indicate that. Make it very, very straightforward. So, of course, it's a 90-degree angle that way. And of course, the whale is going to be here. And the distance traveled by the whale is 3 miles. So I'm indicating all of that. All right. And of course, the diagram is not complete unless you indicate the bearing, because this is not the bearing of the whale from the island. I'm just indicating a right angle here, because west from north is right angle. But bearing is measured from the north line in a clockwise direction, going all the way around. So this angle here, of course, when we look back at the compass rose, we can say that west, the direction west, carries a bearing of 270 degrees. So it means that that big angle here is simply 270 degrees. So that takes care of part 1 of the question. Now in answering part 2, of course, you're going to have to use the same diagram to answer part 2. So obviously you're not going to draw over another diagram. So part 2 says determine the bearing of the island now from the whale. So all I'm going to do is draw a north line through the whale, and again, north lines must be parallel to each other. So then they should look parallel to each other on the diagram, and it will help you to decode angles as well. So it says determine the bearing of the island from the whale. Now, obviously, this is a right angle as well, but it's always a good idea to indicate it like this, because that ultimately is going to help you to answer other questions as well. So again, we know that from here to here is 180 degrees. So if I figure out what is in here, then automatically I'll figure out what is there. Now, obviously, if 90 degrees is here, then 90 degrees must be here. And we already know that it's 90 degrees, so we should indicate 090. But just for working out sake, so it would be 270 degrees minus 180 degrees. That would be equal to 90 degrees. So 90 degrees comes here because 180 plus 90 gives you 270. So we know that. But be careful. When you are indicating a bearing here, we know that this angle, the angle that is here is the same as here. But because it's the bearing now, and bearing must be given in 3 figures, you have to write 090 degrees, all right? Which is different from 90 degrees here, all right? So bearing must always be given using 3 figures, and that would be the answer to part 2 of the question that says determine the bearing of the island from the whale. So to answer part 2, the bearing of the island from the whale is 090 degrees, and that will be your answer to part 2. So I hope you guys found this video insightful, and I'll see you guys on the next video.